All right, let's take a look at the old Stair tool. Stair tool is one of the most fantastic tools in Revit because, even students I have that are dyed-in-the-wool, hardcore Rhino and 3ds users love the Stair tool because it does all of the math necessary to create your stairs. I know people who create them in Revit for the correct floor heights and then export the geometry to use in other programs all the time. It's a fantastic little tool. So you have two options when you click on the down arrow under Stair, which is under the very first architecture tab over here. You have Stair by component, and then you have Stair by sketch. So for the vast majority of your basic stairs, you're going to use Stair by component. It's also the default option. And so the first thing you have is you have the potential to use a run tool. And so really all you do here is you go ahead and set in your level. So I've got from level 1 to level 2 in this case. What I want the actual width to be. If I want the run line to be in the center or to the side, depending on how you like to show that particular information. And then you can set the desired number of treads and the depth of the treads. Now what's really cool, or I'm sorry, this is the desired number of risers, and what's really fantastic about this is that if you change this information, if I said I wanted this to be 3 feet above level 2, it's going to automatically update this number and it's going to tell me what my actual riser height is. So I go back to 0 again, it's going to change the number. It's keeping it at 6 and 2, 41, 256, which is fantastic. So it's basically, it's very, very simple. It'll do the absolute maximum riser height, I think, is 7 inches, which is code required height, so it's perfect. Once you've gotten all this figured out, all you have to do is click to start your stair, pull it all the way up, and click to end your stair. And it'll be done. Super, super easy. Now, if you have a landing, you can do the same thing with a run. You just pull your stair up however far you want, and you see just below my stair there says 11 risers created, 6 remaining. So what I can do is go down and make it a little bit more even. And then I pull the second part of my stair off to the side, if I want to, over here somewhere. And I can pull down and it'll automatically create my landing for me, and I can just say OK, end it, and it's going to create my stair for me. Take a little gander at this in a 3D view. Beautiful. Super, super easy. Put it right in the middle of a column, which is not a good move, but hey, there it is. So let's go back, look at it again. Let's move the whole thing down here, shall we? Move it way out here, actually. I can change the direction that the stairs start just by flipping the little arrows. If I click that, we go back and look at it again in 3D. It's changed that the other side is at the top. Really, really simple. It comes in with a standard default railing. And what I can do is select that railing and then pull down and select any other railing that comes in with the program or any that I've loaded in. I also download new railings from Autodesk Seek to make them look pretty because let's be real, the vast majority of the railings in the program by default are not super beautiful railings. And we'll look at railings in a separate video because these aren't the best. So that's how you do that. Very, very simple. Now, the other thing we can do, we can go back in here and say edit stairs, and it's going to give us the sketch. You can add or subtract risers as much as you need to. And if you zoom out, it'll tell you how many are left. But you can see the number here as well. So we've got 14 and we need 17, so I would need to add 3 more for this to work. So, good stuff. So just keep going. I'm going to go ahead and delete this again because there's more than one way to do a stair in Revit. Now, of course, we've got lots and lots of different options for how these stairs are shaped. Here we go. We've got a center end spiral. You can do a full step spiral. So you can just kind of experiment with these, and then you can do a stair by sketch. And that's the same type of operation. I'm going to go ahead and cancel the stair here. Delete it out. It's the same type of operation if you go into Stair Tool and do Stair by Sketch. It's the same thing. And I'm going to show you this with the project stair because it's a great candidate for this type of stair. So what you have is you have boundary lines, and you have your run lines, and you have your riser lines. So you don't really have to show the run line if you don't want to. You can just use boundary and riser, and that's what I'm going to do. So the two boundary lines are going to be lines that are, they're going to be two continuous lines. They're going to be separated, and they don't necessarily have to be parallel, like in this case. They're not going to be, and I'm going to use my little pick lines tool here, and I'm going to pick that line, and hopefully I can find like the full arc in here, but maybe not. I just draw my arc here. Okay. And the last little line, this is going to go down to the end of my stair here. There we go. Beautiful. And I got to draw my interior lines, so I'm going to go back into boundary again. And I'm going to select chain in this particular case. I'm going to go up here, here, and then back down here. Okay. And now I'm going to go into my riser. So I'm going to hit riser, and then these are going to be lines that intersect or meet the boundaries. Okay, so every single one of my lines here. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and close off my boundary lines. And I'm going to use my pick lines tool, and I can go in through here and I can pick every single one of these. Now what's really fantastic about this tool is that I can trim, extend all of these, but I actually, if I recall correctly, it automatically does it for you. I know that if they overlap, it trims them all the way back. Let's see if it gives me a warning. Well, it's going to go ahead and do it. Looks like. So I'm going to sit here and think about it. There we go. Beautiful stair. Now this is giving me a cannot create the continuous rail geometry. It's probably a little bit confused by what's going on here. You can see that it's having issues turning this corner, so look at fixing that. It's saying my actual number of risers is different from my desired number of risers, which may be the case for this particular stair, because it could very well be, first of all, that the first riser on the bottom is accurate, but the last riser at the top is inaccurate. It could also be because these were not 7-inch stairs, so we'll have to take a look at that. And my last one says again that the rail is not continuous. And so it's going to say cancel because it looks like it's quite confused. But what I can do is I can try to fix these things. And let's take a look at the properties here. So it's telling me that the desired number is 17 and the actual number I have is 18. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to 18. Hit apply, and let's see if it'll let me do it without changing the railing, because I can go back and fix the railing at a different time. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Okay. So what it's doing is it's still giving me issues about the railing. So something I can do here is I can go into my edit type and take a look at all of my different options for my stair here. And I thought we had the option to choose the railing in here. Not seeing it. But I can continue to work on this and make it work. Because that railing line is where the, or that boundary line is where the railing is. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more like this and see if it makes any difference. Trim these guys down. Let's see what happens now. That's kind of tough to turn that little corner. And I might have all these radiuses slightly off, and we'll just see what happens. All right. Oh, here's the railing. Here it is. So I can say no railing. Let's see what happens if I say no railing and try to finish this. Oh yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So we can kind of look at this in 3D as well. It's over here somewhere. There he is. So there's the first stair right there. I can actually copy this guy over if we'd like to see him outside. So there he is. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'll continue by making the second stair and any other small steps I may have in the project. And then I'll go back and I'll work on this railing a little bit more and see if I can get it to look pretty.